Welcome to the third part of this playlist. So in this one, what we are going to do, so far we had the Ubuntu server, we had the DHCP server, we had the rsyslog, the syslog. So what we are going to do, we would like to know the last person who did the SSH to a specific user right now. It is the concept. The rsyslog, which is our syslog server, the client will send the data towards the server, and server already has everything. But we need to read it, and not from the server, from another user, which like another computer, which is gonna do the monitoring and everything, or like alerting. What will happen here? We do need an API. So with API, we can call information, we can get them from the user. But there is no API on my Ubuntu server. What should I do? With Python script, I'm going to create my API with Flask, and then with polling, so we can get the online data. So in this video, you'll see how you're going to create your Flask API, how you can poll that, how you can do it from different computers in the same network, or as long as you have the ping and the routing is working. So let's start this video, and I'm gonna show it to you like soon. To have the API with Flask, we just simply need to install the Flask library. So pip3 install Flask, and then with these super duper simple Python script, we can get it. So from Flask, import Flask, and a Flask name, and this is what we have. So for that thing, we are going to do something more. We need a function. I'm defining this function. I call it log reader. And based on that, I'm going to open a specific file, which is like this, tt.log. I'm going to open it. I'm going to read it and split the lines. So just separate the lines. And to me, it is important who was the last person who did the SSH. So I'm saying, okay, the last line is enough for me. And here I'm saying, just return that one and work in this way for me. If I run this, it says I'm working. And if I bring my browser here, just simply go to this address, it prints out this one, which is the last line of that file. Actually, it is copied from a real SSH log. So the file is reading, the script is reading this thing from the file, and we have a get notification here. If I redo it, we can see another HTTP get, and it's 200, so it is working. So you know what can I do? I can bring my terminal. It is my local computer terminal, and it is the address of the file. If I vim to the file, go to the last line, I try to add a new line. Let's say another line is added because it's like a log. So just simply whatever, this thing, I'm gonna save it, just put it here, and I want to refresh this one. And we can see easily, we have the whatever here, and we have a get with 200. So you know what, I'm gonna stop it, just clear this one. What is this part? It's for the URL. So if I change it to, let's say, my name, like that, and rerun this one again, it is saying I'm working. However, if I refresh, I'm not gonna get anything, and 404 is that. If I come here to the URL and just add my name like that here, so, oops, sorry, I should copy this, Control V, enter, beautiful, it works, and we have 200 here. So this is the concept of the Flask. It is working and everything is good. But let me remove this one. We don't need this. What do we want here? Just let me comment this one out and bring it like this. It is the IP address of my computer, and this file is on my computer. We just created the URL via the Flask API. It's fascinating. So we have the information, and imagine you have a network of computers and they are connected to each other, they can ping each other. Easily you can get the data from each one via that API. How? With a simple, easy Python script. So you can see here, we have the URL, we just created this one here, we say we have this URL and get the response like this and print it out. And in case something changed, you get the every 1 second, you can get the information. And if you see any changes, in case the old response was different with the new one, just print it out for me. In this case, when you do the polling, you can get it, the way that I'm doing that, I'm putting it in a forever loop, in a while true loop. I can remove that sleep once, so it does it like every second, or keep on doing that fast every like millisecond or microsecond. But the problem is that in big scenarios that you have a lot of data, we have something we call it API gateway, and it causes some sort of malfunctioning or crashing, because it's gonna send a lot of data every nanosecond, microsecond, and keeps on doing that. It's not good for that. In this case, it's just a simple line and it doesn't matter. You can remove that one. But like a note, you should have an interval for each time that you're sending your data. So let's try this one. I come here, run this one like this, and here I have this polling. So on this network, it is one of the, actually this is 0.8, which is the client one, sorry, the Ubuntu client on my rsyslog. I have it here just for the test actually. So the script is here. I call that l-py. If I do python 3 l-py, what I'm expecting to see every 1 second updating data here, or a GET request, and also getting the information here. So I'm gonna hit on the enter. You can see every 1 second there is a request here from this IP address, which is the IP address of my machine, and the last line was whatever. If I come to this terminal again, go to this one and try to add another new line, something like, I don't know, this time I'm saying something like this, okay, and try to save it. We can check here. I'm gonna save it here. It is saved and it showed up here. So it is the concept of having Flask and API. So I'm gonna stop this one. We no longer want this thing. What is the next step? On the next step, we do want to show it on my Raspberry Pi. So I have my Ubuntu server on my Intel NUC. I have my client, which is one of the computers. Here it's on my UTM, but imagine Intel NUC is my Ubuntu server, UTM is the client, my computer is the one who is going to SSH to the client, and also I have the Raspberry Pi, which is the same network as well, and it is connected to the LCD. I'm gonna show you the architecture of the thing that I did here, but at the same time, what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna show you this simple script. You can see I already downloaded RPLCD library, and you can easily print out things on your LCD. So this LCD is displaying this thing, hello friends, as you can see here. I'm gonna put a link below this video. You're gonna see from where I got this way that I connected each cable to each other, so don't worry about that. But here, as you can see, we have a 16:2 characters LCD, and this part, it says from which line you can print out what you want on the LCD. It is very easy way to print something. So now we have our Flask. This Flask, let me just do some manipulations. It should be on the server, because server is the one that has the logs. So it is what we're gonna have on the server. If we come here on our server and do ls, so we have nothing here. Let's say vim, call it log reader, like that, py. So I open this one, I copy this easily and paste this one here, and wq. So I save this one here and do python 3 log reader and So it says no module for Flask. So I need to install the pip here. First of all, I'm gonna install the pip. So I already installed pip and Flask, but here there is something. As you can see, if I do ls, I have the log reader, but vim log reader, this address is important. Actually, this address is wrong right now. It is the one on my computer. I have to go back. It should be where I'm saving the logs. Where I'm saving the logs, we can find it where in the configuration of our syslog. So if I do vim etc r syslog -conf, you can see here I told the software to save everything somewhere like this. And what's that? So var log and then client Ubuntu and finally the SSHD log. So everything should be somewhere like this, the file that we want to have. I'm gonna do a queue. Let's say cd etc. Oh, sorry, var, then log. What do we have here? We had a client Ubuntu. So I'm gonna say cd again, client Ubuntu ls. We have a sshd log file here. So I'm gonna do pwd. So copy this one, Ctrl C, and sshd log. So cd okay, we come here, try to remove this name. From this part, I'm gonna delete. So this part, like to the var, then log, client Ubuntu, and finally here is sshd log. It is the address. So I'm gonna go out, and now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to run the script. So Python 3, and what do we have here? The log reader file. So now it is working. If I come here to my Raspberry Pi and we see everything is cool here, like we have the script here. Again, let's go out of this and try to do Python 3 and the alerting. So we can see it is showing the previous status of the system as soon as we press the enter. It said the status is open, so I mean someone is SSHing to that, which is on my computer. So if I do exit here, stop the SSH, what we're gonna get here, it says the status is closed at this time, which is based on UTC time. If I try to do this SSH again, so I'm gonna come here and try to do it again. So we'll get this one, the port is open. And that's it. It's what I wanted to talk about that. It can be event alerting. It can be the person who, like the last person who opens the server room door. when an employee log into the computer or when you do the SSH. So you can see how simply you can have all of the information on a small screen. And we're done with this playlist. I hope you find it useful. If you like that, show me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and bye everyone. Bye bye.